Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Higher and Beyond. I'm your host today, Uni. Today, we are going to talk about sales and marketing, and I have an expert here as my guest speaker, Caroline. Hi, Coach Caroline.
Hello,
Welcome.
hi. Thanks for having me here, Uni.
It's a pleasure. Okay, but for all of you who doesn't know who Coach Caroline is, so Coach Caroline is a life and business coach, and she had 15 years experience as a teacher. But you know what? It's not funny if I just introduce you like this, and I want everyone who's watching this show, who are you? So could you a little
Okay.
bit, could you talk a little bit more about you and yourself, what you're doing to all of us here? Please, Caroline.
Sure. Actually, I was a teacher for 19 years in Taiwan. Yeah, and I'm originally from Brighton in the UK. I came here I'm still in Taiwan. I came here in 2004 and I became a certified life coach in 2018 with Ecology. And then I decided about last year, I decided to become a business coach because I realized that I had my life coaching skills and I wanted to leave teaching, but I didn't know how to sell myself, sell my skills, and make some money out of them. And I wanted to learn, so I employed a business coach and enrolled in his marketing mastermind. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much for sharing, Caroline. It's um, experience 19 years as a teacher, and then
Yes.
you move your desire to be as a life coach, in 2018 to help other people, especially in sales and marketing. And I would like to know about that so we can share about the sales and marketing, especially for the coaches around the world for sure. And then as a
Yes.
person who's originally from UK, moved to
Mm.
Taiwan, it's like abroad in the world. So
Mm.
could you tell me a little bit about what is motivate you, moving from the teacher, beside of helping coaches to show themselves out there.
Mm,
What
mm,
is
mm.
thing that motivate you to be a business coach?
Right. Well, actually, I have never been in a job as long as I was in the education field. I was a teacher for 19 years, and previously, I don't think I'd ever been in a job for more than 2 or 3 years. So it was a long time, and it was time. I wanted to try something different. I do like variety. So, and I was getting pretty burnt out with being a teacher. So it was time. And what happened was I had a pain crisis caused by stress, probably because I wasn't listening to my body, I wasn't listening to my values, and I was staying with the job for different reasons, to support my family and things like that, and stability and things like that. So I was ignoring myself and what I needed and what I wanted. I wanted more control. I wanted more freedom to express my skills and my talents in different ways. I was feeling undervalued and underpaid.
Ah,
So, yeah, that really brought on a lot of stress. And I had a pain crisis. And I ended up coming through that pain crisis, learning and prioritizing self-care to stop going back into pain. And then I decided, no, it's not enough to just self-care. Like, if I really care about myself, I cannot just put a sticky plaster on this gaping wound of stress and burnout. Like, I need to really make a difference and change my lifestyle to so that I don't have to keep focusing this much on self-care. Like, I had to focus on it like all the time. And it really wasn't making things, it was making things bearable, and it was helping me not get back into pain, but it wasn't making everything better. Like it wasn't making my life better. Like I needed to make a bigger change than just putting on that sticky plaster. So I decided to leave the job, leave teaching. I'm still obviously I'm a business coach, so I'm still educating people. But and I love education, and but it's a different way of looking at education. And so I'm not in a classroom with children
Yeah.
with
Okay.
lots of crazy, wild energies. After the age of 40, I think you just kind of start realizing that you are not going to tolerate things that you
Yeah.
previously tolerated. Maybe you have a bit less energy, maybe, yeah, maybe you just know yourself a bit better, or you want to know yourself a bit better. So that's where I was at. And that's why I became a business coach, because I wanted to use my coaching skills. I'd been using them as a hobby on the side. I had been paid to use my life coaching skills. I had been paid, but it was still just a hobby, I think. I didn't have enough time or energy to put into building a business. I didn't really know how to really sell and market being a life coach. So then when I left my teaching job, I started looking around for a business coach that could fulfill that criteria for me. And there's lots of different ways to sell and lots of different ways to market. But I found a book coach. He's a business brand and book coach, and I enrolled in his Build Your Business Mastermind.
Oh,
It was a
wow.
big, it was
This,
a big self-investment, like a big self-investment, but it's been worth it. It's completely changed my life.
oh, this is amazing. I mean, from the hobby that you've had, as a life coach, helping people and that, so you can use your skill because what I see personally also, I see that, you have um, this skill, so you can use it to help people
Yes,
and
yes.
not just as a hobby. So can you tell us about, how we are as a coach, to show up out there, using our skills because I can tell, Caroline, you know, not many coaches, they actually know how to sell themselves.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big problem. It's a big problem for coaches because we get into it because we want to help people. We want
Hmm.
to, we probably get a buzz out of being helpful and making a good impression, having a good influence on people's lives, helping them to see different perspectives.
Yeah.
Like that's why we get into it. But we're not, and we're given a lot of communication skills. We're given a lot of conversational skills and techniques and tools to help us help other people through conversation. But what we're not taught is how to then take those skills and turn it into a profitable business.
Yeah.
So that's what I went looking for.
Hmm.
And like I got certified in an academy, and I was seeing a lot of coaches with incredible skills, and better than me even, like they're NLP and CBT and mindfulness and all these wonderful courses, and they become so skilled, but then they're not earning any money. It's a very closed environment where we learn. It's a very closed environment. We're all learning from each other, which is fantastic. It's safe, it's comfortable. But then, when you want to make money from your skills, when you realize, hey, like I could get paid to do this, it's then where do you look? Where do you find that information? You have to go venture outside of that closed, safe, comfortable environment and start looking around for somebody who fits the same values that you do and also embraces maybe some of the skills that you have. Like I had previously written 2 books before I met my book coach, and they hadn't gone anywhere. I had self published them, and I thought, yay, I've written 2 books, I've self published them. it feels great. But then nothing happened from those books. And I was like, oh, this is a bit of a letdown. I didn't really know. I was looking on Instagram and YouTube and I was seeing, hey, there's all these people making money from books. But when I self-published my book, it didn't go anywhere and it didn't make any money. And I didn't really have those missing pieces of the puzzle, like so I went looking for a business coach and I found a book coach, and there were several book coaches out there, but I ended up with the one that I thought suited me best. And he's really transformed the way I think about my skills, my value, my worth, and helping me to learn those conversational frameworks of how to market and sell yourself.
Mm. Okay, so start from publish the book. It's actually one thing, one step to actually sell and market yourself out there.
Exactly, exactly. So
Okay.
so what it was, so I mentioned that I'd already published two books, but they didn't go anywhere, and I didn't know
Mm.
why, and I didn't have the answers. And it turns out that there are missing pieces to the self-publishing story, the self-publishing journey. So you need to learn how to have a book launch. You need to learn and have the courage to tell everybody about your book. And then Amazon has this really great, the bestseller status on Amazon. It's a marketing game, like all of those, the New York Times bestseller and the Wall Street Journal, they're all like marketing games, all to different extents. Some are harder, some are easier, some are more accessible. Amazon, I think, is one of the more accessible, is the most accessible one. And I think it's a marketing game, and you can become a bestseller on the pre-order on Amazon without actually having written your book yet. You have a year to write your book. Yeah,
Mm.
it's quite a
Yeah.
different, it's a mindset shift. You have to shift to, an authorship and sales and marketing mindset. Yeah,
Well,
and
this
I
is.
know, I know that a lot of coaches, because as coaches, we have a lot of integrity. Where especially when we have these academies that teach us, like there are principles to coaching, and you have to have integrity and good morals and ethics. So when it comes to sales and marketing, we often feel that there's a clash in ethics and morality and integrity, because there are some people equate sales and marketing to having an underlying bias or some kind of agenda or a manipulative conversation so that I can get you to buy something even if you don't want to buy it, right? It's kind of like, is it sneaky? Is it manipulative? And you really have to do a lot of work to get over those limiting beliefs. Like if you really believe in what you're doing as a coach, what you're offering, the programs, the books that you're offering are there to benefit people. You're trying to help people. You're trying to, give value to people, but you're also trying to honor and value yourself, right? So
Right.
these conversational frameworks that are selling frameworks, you know, when I saw in coaching, there are also conversational frameworks to help people find out their limiting beliefs. There are also conversational frameworks to help people shift their perception. And when I realized that selling is just another conversational framework to help people understand why they might want to pay for something, that it is
Mm.
of value, then I was like, well, I'm not trying to sell drugs to children. Like, I am trying to help people elevate their lives to the next level. I'm offering them something that could really make their lives better. And so I had to do a lot of work with those limiting beliefs around sales and marketing, taking the ick out of it, the yuck out of it. Oh, it doesn't feel quite right. To actually, I do this in other areas of my life. And if I want to feel honored and valued, then I should learn how to do this, and then try it out and see if it works for me with what I know now.
Mm. And then finally, after long investment and learn and shift the mindset, from how and I don't know if I can do this. With
Mm,
all of the investment that you've put it there, it made you become who you are, knowing that
hmm.
you bring value
Yes,
not for only other people, but also value for yourself.
yes,
Yeah, especially
exactly.
as a business coach. So what actually the strategy that you use to help other coaches out there to market
Okay,
themselves?
good question. So I help people to create an ebook, and we come up with the title, the subtitle, the cover, and the summary. We put it up on KDP Amazon, and then I help coach those people through a book launch. And they have a book launch where they tell everybody about their book on the pre-order. Remember, the book's not written yet, and
Mm-hmm.
then we have the pre-order book launch. Everybody buys the book, they're all excited for you and your community. You have built a community who's helping you to market and sell your book. And you have your book launch day, and you become an Amazon bestseller, hopefully, in the end. And
Oh,
then
wow.
once you become an Amazon best-selling author, then you have that credibility, that authority, that status, that confidence to be able to then, okay, you also have a community who's looking to you for the next thing you're going to do, the next thing you're going to say. You've already built all that momentum, and then you can turn around and you can say, hey, so I've created a program that's based on this best-selling book, and would you like to take a look at it? Like, this is how it's going to help you, and this is how much it's going to be.
Mm.
That there you have built yourself a platform. You've marketed yourself, and you've built yourself a platform. And don't forget that that book that you've launched is your business branding book. It has your it has your branding word on it. Mine is Unleashed. So it has your
Mhm.
branding word on it. It might have your picture on it. It'll have your name on it. This is your brand. And the book describes your brand and your program.
Okay, so it start by uh, you don't need to write the book all the way. It's just
No,
the unleash the first. What are you gonna show? What are you gonna introduce to people? And then you
yeah,
become a best-selling author on Amazon.
that's correct. That's correct.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
the branding book is a piece of your personal story. So
Okay.
it's totally authentic. It's part of your story. It's unique to you, which means that when you become a best-selling author of your best-selling book, you can walk into any room and be the expert in the room of your book because it's the expert of your story and it's the expert of your brand. It's totally authentic, something that I love about this process and this system.
Wow, this is interesting. Um, but is this the book that they launch? It has to be by themselves as a coach, or you actually help other people, not not a coach.
Sorry, I'm not sure I
It's
understand your question. Can you say it one more
it's
time?
like, I mean, are you helping people who want to launch their book um, as a coach, or you also helping other people, not a coach, to launch their book?
Both. You can it depends what their reason for becoming a best-selling author is,
Ah, okay. So it's not
right?
only
I
for
mean,
coaches.
Right. It's for authors, publishers,
Mm,
anybody with a business who wants to
right.
assert their credibility, who wants to assert their expertise, right? Like you
Mm,
could have somebody, for example, you could have somebody who owns a gym, who is a nutrition and gym coach in the gym, right? If they're having problems selling their gym programs, or they want to give their business a boost, they could become an Amazon best-selling author, and this would be marketing and sales for their gym, right? It's a piece, it's their branding.
hmm. Interesting. So it's not only for, so you are as a business coach, you're not only helping coaches out there, but for all of the people who own the business, any
Yes,
kind of business, it means they can reach out to you if they want to
right.
be the best-selling author on
Yes.
Amazon.
Right,
Oh
with their
gosh,
with their brand.
right.
It's a brand boost. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. So,
Mm.
well, talking about this, what is first thing that we can do? Sometime I personally kind of think, am I actually good at writing the book? Um, what is the first step for all of the people out there to sell themselves?
Mm.
Especially to start writing the book, is am I actually capable to do that? Or you
You
use the
you hit
personal,
you
right?
have hit the nail on the head. Like you really need to learn how to recognize your own value and your own worth. It
Okay.
really, and you can do that work on yourself, but it's so much easier if you have a coach. It's so much easier if you
I
have a
agree with that.
coach.
Yeah. Without a code, sometimes we need, like, we have a lot of questions. We have, like, it takes a long time to figure it out. What's again? What do I need to do next? And what is gonna happen? And anything. So
Yes.
it must be lucky for all of you guys who's watching this, if you have a coach as a guidance for you to actually achieve your goal. So,
Yeah.
Carolyn, how can we, if for example me reach out to you to start the book, what is the best beneficial? What is the benefit for me or for people who reach out to you to start this work?
What is the benefit for them
Yeah,
to become a best-selling author?
yeah. So let's say that.
Oh, wow. Well, you become the expert of your own story. And
Mm,
when people look at you, for example, okay, just say you're a speaker, right, Uni?
yeah,
So you go for a job, right? You apply for a speaking job, and just say that the company or the establishment needs to choose between you and another person to be the speaker, right? If you have a best-selling book and you're a best-selling author, but the other speaker is not, who do you think they're going to choose?
me, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Like it's kind of a no-brainer. You wouldn't choose the person who doesn't have the book, right? Because it gives you credibility. You're more believable. You're the
yeah,
expert.
yeah. So credibility is there,
Authority,
yeah.
status, credibility, not to mention, like, it gives you such a confidence boost to go through the process of becoming a best-selling author. It's not, I mean, when you have a coach to help you every step of the way, it becomes easier. But I say easier, it's not easy because you still have to get over those limiting beliefs of who's going to want to read my book? Like, what value are people going to find in my story? are people actually going to want to buy my book? Why would they want to buy my book? All these limiting beliefs come up. And when you've got a coach saying, you know what, get over yourself, just do it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they've done it so many times and they've done it for themselves, they've done it for other people, and they know what they're talking about, and you trust them, then you just do what they tell you to do and you get over it. And then you see the results of just putting yourself out there and feeling the fear and feeling scared and getting out of your comfort zone and just doing it anyway. And then you're like, hey, you know what? This stuff works. It
Yeah.
works. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. This
yeah,
stuff work. That is
yes,
why again you need somebody who can guide you, the right people, the professional that can help you
yeah,
to do that, to guide you, right?
yes, yes,
Interesting. Hmm.
yes. And, self-investment, like investing in yourself is a hot topic, I think.
Yeah,
Like
tell me about that.
yes,
Tell us.
yes, because a lot of us, like when you start out, you don't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of money to invest in yourself, and there are
Mhm.
different strategies for coaches to make money. You can be the kind of coach who inspires hundreds, thousands of people and puts programs out there for very little money, like on Udemy or something like that,
Please, yeah.
and masses of value. You put out masses of value, masses of knowledge, and you're marketing to hundreds, thousands of people. Or you could, and with that, sorry, without carrying on with what I'm saying, later on, you can raise your prices, right? So I'll say it one more time. You can be the kind of coach who puts out lots of cheap material, great material, solid value, like on Udemy. It's not a lot of money, but you've got hundreds, thousands of people in your community, right? And because you've got thousands of people buying, I don't know, like a $15 course, you're going to make quite, decent money doing that, right? And then later on, you can offer something different and raise your prices. Or you can be the kind of coach, we call them high ticket coaches, where you can have five, six clients and charge more, like you can ask for more money because you recognize the value and the transformation that you are giving or offering to your clients, right? So there's two ways of doing it, you
Yeah.
know yeah,
Hmm.
but it's really, you have to do the work. You have to do the work, and you have to really recognize what transformations you've been through yourself. Like, I'll give you an example. My business coach, he, I invested a large amount of money in my business
Hmm.
coach, but I
Right.
haven't invested it all up at front. I'm on terms. Okay. I'm on terms. So I'm paying it off gradually, gradually, gradually over the course of a year. Okay. But I am so happy to give him that money. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to give him that money because he's earned it. Like, I want to show him my appreciation. Like, I love giving my coach money because he gives me so much value. He's transformed my life, right?
Mm. Mhm.
So I want I want to enroll people in the same way he enrolled me, where people want to give me their money because I serve them so well. I give them so much value. I give them exactly what they need and more, right?
Mm. Yeah.
That's the situation you want to be in, where people are like, you know what, you really earned it. So here, take it. Like, this money is yours. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you changed my life for the better. And I believe that I want to show you how much I appreciate it. And that's how I feel about my coach.
Hmm. Wow. This is why you have the courage that you wanted to invest that quite a lot of amount of money, right? So for all of coaches out there, I don't know if they actually have the courage to start to invest that amount of money for
Right.
their business. So,
Okay, so it is an
yeah,
investment. This is the thing.
okay.
The way it's a mindset. It's an investment. And when you look at investing, if you listen to people like Robert Kiyosaki, whether you like him or not, he has
Mm,
some very interesting views on the poor mindset and the rich mindset. And one of the things he says is the rich borrow money to invest because they know it's an investment. They know they're going to get something back and more. They're going to make it
right.
back and more, right?
Mm,
So when you invest in yourself, it's the same concept. Like I believe in my coach. So I'm willing to find money in any way that I need to put it into him because I know in the end, I'm going to make that money back and more.
So interesting about the example from the author of Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
That's right.
It says that when you borrow money, rich people they borrow the money to invest, and then
Yeah,
poor
they
people,
don't use their own money.
right? So this is also kind of, I would say, which means this is a reminder for all of you who want to invest in yourself. It
Mm.
doesn't matter if you want to borrow the money. Is that it's okay to
It's a
borrow the
risk.
money?
I'm
Okay,
not
yeah,
saying anybody should go into debt. I'm
yeah,
not advocating anybody to go into debt because it's really such a
right.
personal decision. So it's really up to you. But I'm just saying that the definition of being an entrepreneur is risk.
Mm,
It's
I
taking a
love
risk.
this.
And
Yeah.
you know what? Like if you're taking a risk on you, I would
Mm,
rather take a risk on me than take a risk on the stock market. Stock market, I don't have any way of controlling or, things happen, people manipulate the market, but with me, I can manipulate me. I
yeah.
can learn. I can have some semblance of control over the way that I do things. So if I'm going to take a calculated risk, I'm going to take it on myself.
Yeah. Wow. And then from that, it made you confidence to actually not just I'm not actually just investing in that, but I have the value again. I have the confidence. Um, I am That's a lot of beneficial from actually investing uh, something for yourself,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
also the good thing, as an entrepreneur, taking risks is must as an
Mm,
entrepreneur.
yes.
Hmm.
But you have to do your research. I'm
Yeah.
not saying jump into things. I'm not
Hmm.
saying take silly risks. I think you have to research, you have to be sure, you have to believe. Believe is the biggest thing. Like, I believe in my business coach because, first of all, I see him doing the do. Like, he's a role model, like, he's doing it,
Right.
he's living it. So, if I see him doing it, living it, believing it, I think, hey, you know what? Like, I could do that. I could do that. I can learn from him. He's being a great role model, and he's willing, like he has so many great values and attributes that I can relate to. So you have to find what inspires you. You have to find the way that works for you, the book, the mentor, the coach. You have to find the way that works for you. But in the end, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same result. And
Wow.
what I realized was that I kept investing small. I was investing in small things, making small steps. I was reading books. I was doing this, but I wasn't really getting anywhere fast. Like it was slow, right? And I was
Yeah.
just like, you know what? I need to do something different. What got me here isn't going to get me over there, which is where I want to be, right? So I was like, I knew that I needed to do something drastically different. And so all of these things combined made me realize I want to take this calculated risk. And of course, I consulted my husband and my friends and my, the loving people around me, and they had a lot to say. And there are the people who will not believe in your vision, and you have to decide, if you're going to listen to them or not. And there are going to be the people that don't, that are kind of jealous or scared for you, or, and you have to decide, like, am I going to listen to that, or am I going to keep going? But it's such a personal decision, and I couldn't advise anybody on that. Like, that's something that only you can take that responsibility for yourself.
Whoa, wow. And
Mm.
again, uh, I can tell also, and uh, everything that you've just said, it come to something that actually uh, there are actually many skilled people out there,
Yes.
but like what you said, they're making small step, the same thing, and getting the same result again
Yes.
and again.
Yes.
And also something that I found in my society, my close friend, they doing the same thing. Um, I personally, I'm talking about myself, I'm doing the same thing again and keep getting the same result. And then I know that I have the skill, but why I cannot make the money? Right? This is
Right.
something funny. And then what am I going to do about that?
Yeah.
Besides of, we have to know about the sales and marketing again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually questioning how important it is. Of course, it is very important to be to sales and market yourself in any cases, but no,
Mm.
not many people actually work on it. Can
Mm.
what can you tell to people out there to start or to actually understand which sales and marketing is important if you want to get better life, especially talking about money in here.
Yeah. Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Well, can you tell to how can you tell to people
Yeah. What can I
which
say? You mean what can
yeah,
I say to people
yeah,
who
oh,
don't understand the significance of sales and marketing?
I love this one, yes.
Is that your question?
Yeah, I think this is what I'm going to ask you. Just please, what's your point?
Um, what can you say to people who don't understand the significance of sales and marketing? Well, honestly, I think it's to do with research. If you don't understand the significance of sales and marketing, then you're just not paying attention. You're just not paying attention to the way the world works. Um, but I would say that these days, sales and marketing has really evolved.
Ooh,
It's
more.
really evolved. It's not the same as, back in the day, with the vacuum cleaner salesman knocking on doors and,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's not like that anymore, like a lot of it is online, a lot of it is digital. And we have our funnels now, and, sales and marketing for people who want to do it right, who have a sense of integrity, who have strong ethics. It's about adding value to other people, helping people, in using your skills to help people as much as you can. And yeah, like educating, coaching, and just serving people as best you can, until the people around you start saying, oh, hey, like, I really like that person. I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to that person because they're kind of, they're talking my language. Like I've got some value and they've really helped me with this particular issue. So then that's the top of the funnel, right? Like you're putting all your value out there and you're saying the right things, you're affirming people, you're validating people, you're educating people. And then, it's really about sharing yourself, sharing your story, sharing your systems and your processes. And then that's authentic marketing, right? That comes from the heart, that comes from you, comes from your knowledge, right? And then at some point those people are going to turn around and say, well, how much does it cost to spend more time with you? How
Yeah.
much does it cost to, to be with you more, like, be in your programs? And that's where you want to be, right? That's where you want to be. But along the way, there are invitations to the programs. You help it along. There are invitations to the programs. There are, inviting people in. There are free offers. There are, and there's the conversation. There are certain conversation frameworks that can help, to ease people into that um, sales conversation. Like there's such a thing as sales conversation, so
Yeah.
yeah, like it oils the machine, as it were. But like, I think if you're an integral person, a moral person, an ethical person, you're not going to be, as I said before, you're not selling something icky, you're not selling
Yeah.
something awful. And at any point, if somebody says no, that's not for me, then okay, I
Yeah.
respect your
Yeah.
boundary. You're not going to make somebody do anything they don't want to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And again, this is about the beauty of authentic selling.
Yeah. And they already, by that point, they already know you very well. They've already had value. You've changed their life in some positive way. They know, like, and trust you, right? Know,
Right.
like,
Mm.
trust. Like it's.
Yeah. And then skills is something that if you want to make money or if you want to earn money, you have to have the skills. Like, I don't want to say anything about school. Educate people with the skills. But the thing
Mm,
is, I like actually about what Robert T. Kiyosaki again talking about that at school, nobody told you how to make money.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So I think
Yeah,
this is related. I mean, it's
yeah,
something that is there.
yeah. Yeah, we're not taught about a positive money mindset at school. We're
Yeah.
not taught about financial literacy at school. Where money is, it's left to the parents to talk to you about money. And I think that if your parents didn't talk to you about money and they're poor, and
Yeah.
then, like you're gonna have to take responsibility for learning about money, and for some of us it comes a bit later in life.
Yeah. And I mean, it is true, Caroline, about,
Yeah,
it comes a bit later, which is, for me, it's quite too late. You
yeah,
know, it's
right.
quite too late. We
Yeah,
already have a lot of responsibility, but we need to think
yes,
about money. How am I going to make money? I
yeah,
have no skills because after skills, they don't even know what kind of job they want to work,
right, right, right,
right?
right. Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they still looking for what kind of skills that I need to learn now to actually make money to live. Well,
yeah.
some of the thing, money is not important for me. Of course, it's not
Mm,
important. But do you actually can make money if you think do you can live without money,
mm, 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 yeah,
right?
mm.
I mean, this is too late. So my question to you is, when is the best thing to start? To learn the skill.
Well,
Then.
I mean, as early as possible. Honestly, as early as possible. Like I was talking with my sister. and
Mm.
she's started working for a company called Charles Schwab. And they're teaching like if you start at the age of when you start working, so like 20, 21, whenever you start working, if you just put away like $50 like from your paycheck like every month, by the time you're 50, you're going to have a great life. Like
Mm.
it's a small amount every month, but you do it consistently and you're going to be okay. So of course, starting younger is better if you have this knowledge and you're responsible at that age and you're aware at that age. Like there's a lot of and
Mm.
you keep a steady job and whatever. But for the rest of us who got started a little bit later, the late
I
bloomers,
personally, yes, I agree with
the
that. I'm learning this from you.
right, the late bloomers, we still have a chance. We still have a chance. I got started after the age of 40 and I'm hopeful, like I'm hopeful.
Oh my God. So
And
it's never too
if you
late.
listen, if you listen to what is it? Uh, um, what is it? In there's a school of thought that says whatever you can think of, whatever you can conceive, like your vision, is already here. Like your life vision, if you can think of it, you can make it happen. But it's really only one conversation away. It's really only one thought away. It's really only one action away. It's really only one person away. Like, and some people say it's already here, and it's just in a different dimension because you can think of it,
I love
right?
this
It's
one.
just
So
it's
this
just
is,
in a
yeah.
different dimension. So you already have all the riches and the wealth that you want.
Mm,
This is an abundant universe, right?
I
We don't
love
have to
it.
think. We don't have to think that there's not enough just because we're over the age of 40, right? You don't have to think,
Right.
oh, it's too late. It's too late. No, 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 no. Like there's
Yeah.
enough for anybody. There's enough
Mm,
for everybody. It's
yeah.
just, you have to be creative. You have to be open. You have to teach yourself, have to learn, have to do the self-investing. You have to, like do the things that are different, you know? There's plenty out there for everyone. And whatever you've always wanted is already here. It's already here, right?
I love it.
You just have to find those layers of separation and dissolve them.
Mm, wow. I mean, I love this one. It's actually everything. The universe is abundance. If
Yeah.
you think, again, talking about positive mindset in here, right,
Mm,
Caroline? If you
mm,
don't have this positive mindset, you're going to stuck in there and getting the same result again and again. That this is something that we mentioned earlier. So think
mm.
positive again, right? In this
Yes.
case. Um, abundance also think about and perceive vision that, oh, perfect, I love this one. So what, okay, so the last thing is, what is the one message that you would like to share to people who's watching us today? um
What would I like
one
to
message,
share?
yeah.
Okay, with people. Don't be scared of sales and marketing just because nobody's ever taught you about it or talked to you about it. Whatever icky feelings you have about it, um, it's those are limiting beliefs. And so long as you have something worthy and valuable, integral, ethical that you want to share with people, um, there's no reason why you can't use sales and marketing to do that. So just keep reading and keep learning and, invest in yourself. And if you invest in yourself big, you're going to make some big changes.
Wow, so lovely. So don't be scared,
Yeah,
right, to start
don't be
doing that,
scared.
because nobody thought about sales and marketing. I love this one for. Oh, yeah. So thank you very much, Caroline,
You're
for
welcome.
your insight, and
Mm.
for all of people who's watching us. I hope they get the value from our discussion today. So thank you very much for your time and for your insight, and yeah. So thank you very much for all of you who's watching this conversation with Caroline. I'll put all of the link, how to reach out to you or how to work with you and everything, etc., on the chat later on. So thank you very much, Caroline, for your time, and bye bye. Have a nice day.
Bye bye.